this world 14 months ago. And there'll be one day when you, her, I, Sandy as well, we won't be at this world anymore. We'll be going on to wherever we go after we leave this place. But let's see what else we're talking about tonight. The Father plays a major role in defining the psyche. Wow, where did that come from? Now we can get on down to business. Here, we can talk about the Earth Father and how that He affects our psyche. Or we can talk about the Heavenly Father and how He or she affects our spiritual psyche. We can talk about that if we will. But that verifies even more that we are not of this world. I mean, we're just not of this world. Yet everything has something to do with it. So each day, every time something happens, it is a clue to the mystery. People want to have answers all the time. And by trying to find the answers, the reason that we're trying to do that is because we don't want to feel ourselves not knowing. But all of our lives we don't know. Do you think she cares that she don't know? No, she doesn't care one bit. Mm-hmm. Doesn't she enjoy herself, goes about, does whatever she wants to do, how she wants to do it, where she wants to do it? And she doesn't have to have any kind of all those guilt and complexes and everything placed on her. That's when you're innocent. And that's after we lose that innocence is when we have our problems. Looks like I'm doing a lot of talking and you can talk plenty, Mitzi. But I know I have put you on the spot. So you're just going to sit right here.
Wonderful job.
Okay.
I enjoyed listening.
Okay, let's see what else. The Father plays a major role in defining the psyche. Now let's talk about that a minute. Now, first of all, if that is true, if there's any truth to that, because if it don't work for you, it don't work for me, and it doesn't have to be true. Because the fact is, a lie can be true if it works for you. Now, what did I just say? Mm-hmm. What did I just say, hon?
Basically, it's your lies. You believe it or not believe it.
Because if it works for you, it works. Right. That's all that life is about, is working for you. All right, so the Father, it's saying, plays a major role in defining the psyche. Well, what about those absent fathers? Okay? Would that have, if that is so, I mean, it's just a sentence, it's a bunch of words placed together on a piece of paper. The Father plays a major role in defining the psyche. What does that say to you? In your own life. Okay, let's talk about your particular situation. All right? Was your father in your life?
No.
For how long? Well, certainly he was there or you wouldn't be here. But for how long?
7 or 11.
8 years?
8 years.
Okay, 8 years. So for the first 8 years you had him in your life.
But I don't know nothing of him.
Okay.
Or about him.
Okay. And do you know some people can live with their fathers all of their lives and not know anything about. But in your particular case, you're making a true statement. For 8 years you had him and then he was gone. So of course that affected you. I mean, that would say you would be lying to say that it didn't, or anybody that the father left their lives. It would cause you to interact or with the male gender in with your father. Would you say your father deserted you? Did your mother and father divorced? Of course I know these answers, but I'm asking you. So your mother and father divorced, and you didn't see him after they divorced.
One time.
Okay. So your idea of men was shaped, according to this, by the defining role of the father, whether he's there or not. It has a difference. I mean, it makes a difference. But there's a father, if we're not of this world, okay? If we're not of this world, and everything has something to do with it, no exceptions, and this is as good as it gets, all right, then there's a higher reason for our being here. And even the role of your father being in your life for 8 years, it was supposed to be that way. So that you could formulate with his, whatever little interaction or a whole bunch of interaction there is, for you to walk your path according to the way you're destined to do it. Okay? Now let's go on. Let me see. Constantly rechecks and rechecks oneself. Does that have anything to do with you? Do you run over in your mind over and over, checking behind yourself to see what is right and if you've done this or if you've done that? That is true? I mean, are you making that up or is that true, honey?
No, that is true.
Tell me an example, like what? Okay.
Put on the spot again. Well, with Emmy, constantly making sure I have everything and go back and I double check two
Okay.
or 3 times before I leave, just to make sure I have what she needs.
Okay. All right.
Um,
And that reassures you by doing that. That makes you feel like
yeah, but then I've gotten places and it's still not there.
I hear. That's what I wanted you to say. See, I'm doggone good to get you to say what I want you to say. I don't have anything to do with it. But it says, that's right, honey. It says everything has something to do with it. So you just made a point, sweetie. You just made a point that no matter how much you recheck and double check and do everything in your physical being to make sure everything is in order, sometimes when you get places, you've forgotten something. As much as you can do. All right. Let's see what else. Incessant talking with no resolution. All right. That would be talking to yourself and assuring yourself that everything is going to be okay. Do you do that? Do you talk to yourself and make sure and to tell yourself that things are going to be okay? Or let's put it to Emmy. Do you ask yourself over and over if you've done all that you can do? Not just, you were talking about diapers and bottles, and I know you breastfeed her, but making sure that. But do you run stories over in your head?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see. Questions everything, doubts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And wait a minute, complains
Yes.
needlessly. Why do you think we complain, honey?
Because we're not satisfied with what you got.
Okay, very good answer. And what is the reason, do you think, that we can't be satisfied with what we have?
Because we think someone else, you may have something better than I do.
Okay,
Or the man next door has something that you may want.
okay.
You can't just be happy with what you got.
So it's a matter of comparing
Mm-hmm.
and measuring, but the reality is that you have everything. What did it say? This is as good as it gets. So what you have at this moment, you couldn't be any better off. Right?
Right.
Okay. There she is. There is. Let me see what else. Inability to relax and flow with events.
Yeah, I'm not relaxed right now.
And everything is perfectly in order, honey. And that's a good point. And why are you not relaxed? Say.
Because I'm on TV first thing.
Okay.
And then I have Emmy here that
She's what? Being
the-
Emmy.
Yeah.
Being Emmy, doing the baby things, doing what babies do. And yet, you're making a perfect point, honey. In life, we think that we're supposed to act a certain way, be a certain way, and do a certain way, or somebody's going to think bad of us, or think that we're not intelligent. How about that? We're stupid.
That's number one.
And not only stupid, but we act ignorant because we don't control our children. You know, we're supposed to, I suppose, make them be something and act a certain way. Now, she's completely natural. So I would go on to say that if we followed Emmy and be natural and convenient, she's being convenient to herself, then our life would probably work a little bit better, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Let me see what else. Needs to be reassured before venturing forward. Talk about that. Do you need to be told that it's okay to do something, even though you're an adult?
Yes.
And how many people, whether they're married or single, or whether they're 14 or 44, want to be reassured? Wouldn't you agree, Sandy? That it's okay to do something before you do it. When I think it's the legal age, 21 or 18, that you're an adult? Well, of course.
18.
Tori and Farron left home at 18 and went out on their own. So from the time you were 18 till now, you've been able to make your own decisions, and you didn't need to check to see if it was okay. But you still do it, right, Mitzi? What do you think? What do you think is the reason for that?
That goes back to comparing, to the other sentence. You don't want to do something, the approval.
You want somebody's approval. All right. And that would be because you feel inadequate.
You don't want to do nothing wrong. You want to look good in front of whoever you're with.
All right. Okay. Are you looking good?
Am I looking good?
Tonight? I love it. Yes, you are my point, honey. You want to look good. And you mean that good as it gets. Tell me, you want what, sweetie? What do you want? By being concerned and thinking you're going to make a mistake, or wanting the approval. What is it that you're really, what is it that's going on inside of you that makes you feel so, the first word, nervous? Because look how beautiful she is. Just look how beautiful. And she's just doing what she does for 14 months. So if you did what you did, do you even know what a 35-year-old woman does?
No, not really.
There you go.
No, I still feel like a little kid.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And those feelings would come from the fact that you're not of this world, but you're trying to be of this world. I'm saying that. Let's go on. Let's see. Okay. Dismiss the need to control outer circumstances. All right. Question there? Controlling outer circumstances. Do you worry about what could happen? Your house burning down? Okay. But do you really have any control of the circumstances that are going on around you?
No.
Can you change one iota of anything?
No, because I could control her and make her sit down right now and not go all over the studio.
Right. But you're not supposed.
I have no control over it.
That's right. We have no control over it. We're not supposed to control anything. We are, instead of trying to live our life so manufactured and so, I'm using your word, so without mistakes, like perfect, as if there was something. Instead of trying to live our lives like that, how about let life live through us and be surprised? That's what happens with Emmy. Every moment is a surprise, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Every moment. Let's see what else. Needless waste of time. Take charge, but don't apologize. I think we talked about that years ago, honey. Not apologizing. Now, can you get with that or not? Talk about that a moment. Why would you think that something is written down here that says don't apologize?
Because when you do something, it's already done and you can't go back and take it back.
Okay.
From whatever you said or whatever you did. I guess people look at it as being considerate, but then then it really didn't happen or take place if you go back behind it.
There you go. You said it. You said it. Everything, every single thing has something to do with it. So even that act that looked like it was wrong was right. And it had nothing to do with you coming back and trying to make an excuse, defend yourself, or apologize.
Right, because you make it worse by coming back trying to defend it, or, oh, I'm sorry that I did this or said that, when it's not.
It's done.
Right.
It's as good as it gets. Okay, so that was the Mayan saying for today. Now let's go on and see the reason that there is no reason, rhyme or reason, but I'm just showing that various different, no matter which book I pull here tonight, at random, and I have Mitzi. Let's open up this book, Mitzi. Just anywhere. Anywhere at all. There you go. You do it. Just flip and just point your finger to
And I'm
anything.
gonna take that.
Oh, you okay? All right. So let's read that sentence.
Suddenly it dawned on Charlie. Wasn't he supposed to be in a mirrored maze?
Get out of here! I love this stuff. You can't make this up. All right. Show me. Suddenly it dawned on Charlie. Wasn't he supposed to be in a mirrored maze? Okay. Now that is saying, Mitzi, it seems to me it's saying, now you come follow me, that everything all day long that we encounter, just like with what this is talking about in the beginning, we are meeting ourselves all day long. We are meeting mirrored reflections of ourselves. We are finding various different clues, no matter where they're at, that are showing us our destiny, our path, our walk, ourselves. That's pretty strong, isn't it?
That was powerful.
But what about when you run across the person who cusses you out?
That's part of it too.
There you go, honey.
Because everybody has good and evil in them.
Okay.
And everybody wants to think they're just good people when they're lying underneath. Because
Okay.
everybody has both.
That's exactly right. And so if we get to the place that we are not of this world and don't know the difference or can't recognize the difference of good and evil and take it as something that it has to teach us.
Right.
It has something to teach us. All right, where were we at? Okay, we're in that book. So now let's go to, let me come back over here. What are we talking about now? Let's go to, let's do a little bit of numerology. Here, Mitzi, just at random. Go ahead and write down, let's go with 5 numbers. Any 5 numbers you want to, sweetie. Add them up. My point is, and I'm driving it home, your life is exactly as it's supposed to be. There's not one single solitary thing out of order. Not one. You are with the people you are supposed to be with, and you can't cheat. When it is time, if it ever comes a time for you to be released, you will be released. But you cannot leave a situation